Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, I bet all the dads out there had an absolutely awesome Father's Day. And of course, this week is solstice week. The sun enters Cancer, the first of the emotional signs, and the summer truly begins. Now, in the northern hemisphere, we have what is pretty well the longest day of the year. And what that means is we have the most light to see where we are, and we can do that both spiritually and emotionally. So use the opportunity, my friends, to hold up that mirror of self. Now remember that this new moon ushered in the change of season, and that's the time we actually get to personalize on a different level our own spirituality just a little bit more. Remember, the entire prayer service developed on the basis of individual kavanah, individual intention. So every chance you get to inject a little bit more of your own personal attention is a fantastic opportunity for you to further imprint your own spiritual will on the universe. You should always be prepared to use your intention. But too often, we simply follow the dogma without necessarily feeling connected to any of the services we go to. I would encourage you all, take the steps to feel connected before following dogma. Perfect recitation of dogma with no meaning still has no meaning. Now, I had a few people call or email and ask me a little bit more about the blessings in the standing prayer, the central prayer, the Amida, which now actually contains 19 blessings, not just the original 18 blessings. And it's also said at the change of seasons time. It used to be done all the time at the change of seasons. Now it's just becoming a little bit more popular, right? And, when you look at what's called for every day in any prayer, you understand why the Amida has become such an important prayer. It's central to the religion because of how it's designed. See, prayer is making an entreaty to a more powerful force than yourself. It's done in the same fashion as petitions of old to the reigning monarch. You praise and then you ask. So the structure of almost all prayers, and especially the Amida, is built around that premise. Each blessing ends with the signature phrase, "Blessed are you, O Lord." And the opening blessing begins with the same signature as well. Now, the first three blessings, as a section together, are known as the Shavach, praise. It's the praise section, and serves to inspire the worshiper and invoke God's mercy. Now, the middle 13 blessings compose what's called the Bakashah, the request, with 6 personal requests, 6 communal requests, and a final request that God accept the prayers. Now, the final 3 blessings, known as the Hoda'ah, or the gratitude, is about thanking God for the opportunity to serve the Lord. Now, the praise and the gratitude are pretty well standard for every Amida, but the requests can change a little bit. Now, we open with an invocation of the patriarchal ancestors, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Jacob. And we reference the power of God. See, he heals the sick, he resurrects the dead, he brings rain and dew. And we praise God's holiness. Now, this acknowledges who we're talking to, and then we ask for things. Not like we ask Santa for loot. This is our asking God to grant us wisdom and understanding, a return to goodness, repentance, redemption. We ask him to heal the sick, to bless the produce of life. We ask for mercy for all people and blessings for all of humanity. We ask that our prayers be accepted and that God be merciful and compassionate to all who seek the same. Now, these are great things to ask for, great things to wish upon all of mankind. And then we give thanks. We thank God for our lives, for our souls, for the miracles around us every day. And we give a final prayer for peace, for goodness, for blessings, kindness, compassion. Now, when you know that that's what you're doing, you can do it with intention. If you do nothing else, look it up and recite it. Keep these things in mind because it's your intention, and your intention rules the world, my friends. Now, believe it or not, according to ancient halakha, which is the law, the first blessing of the Amida must be said with intention. And if it's said by rote alone, then the worshiper must go back and repeat it with intention. Now, interestingly enough, one of the great rabbis wrote that this is no longer necessary because modern, and he lived in the 16th century, so that was modern, and this is when he wrote this. So he says, It's no longer necessary because, like modern attention spans were so short, one would not have intention the second time either. Okay, that was the 16th century. Just imagine how we would feel about today's attention span. Now, unfortunately, like I say, I see far too much emphasis on dogma and too little on intention. Do less, but mean it. And that's why you may notice I put one of the songs of praise to God in some of our weekly gatherings. It's usually done only at the high holidays. But it's an opportunity to acknowledge the greatness of a power greater than I. Me. Hamocha. Be'elim Adonai. Mi hamocha. Nehedar. Bakodesh. Nora tahilot osei feila. Nora tahilot osei feila. Who is like you, God among the gods worship? Who is like you, God of gods revered? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, fearsome with splendors, working wonders? Who is like you, Michamocha? So let's call everybody together now in our showing of faith, of love, as a community, a chavura, a fellowship, but we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all. This community hosts a spirit Beth Ruach. So once again, go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, spiritually, or emotionally, to gather and share. It's from Psalm 133, the Hine Mitov, come together. And it's about gathering all the people of like minds to have a little bit of spiritual time together. Hine Mitov. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, community, community together. So as a community, let us all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the entire world, my friends. What we give, we get. And let's bless the change in season as we acknowledge the clock of life, the summer and warmth and lust for life that it brings, and welcome it into our lives. Blessed are you, Lord our God, who guides the world, who makes creation, whose wisdom changes the times and turns the seasons. As long as the days of the earth endure, planting and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. Blessed are you, divine presence, who blesses the years. And as the great Amida calls for healing every time it is said, let's call on that special renewal energy for everybody we know. So think of whoever you know that needs healing and renewal or just goodwill. Just focus on them. Think of their name. Call out to them psychically, spiritually. Pick up the phone for Melissa, for Bob, for Aubrey, for Ben, for Lindsay and Pinky, for the bee, and all the aliens out there. And of course, make sure you include yourself. You need renewal too, my friends. If you don't ask for some renewal, you may not be getting as much as you need, right? It is the kindness, healing, wishes, goodwill, and love that we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit never dies. Avotenu L'kor ha'bracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing, the renewal of body, Spirit and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach, let us all have our spirits the world over renewed, my friends. Remember, it is your setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space. We all have sacred space to talk to whoever you believe in. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention, your goodwill. Now, here's a very simplified, easy, much shorter than the actual Amida, all-encompassing modern version of that central prayer that has all the component pieces, and one that truly puts the speaker in their own sacred space because it acts as an entreaty to the Creator of all for our spiritual connection. Blessed are you, Lord our God, holy God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, and Rachel, King of creation, who heals the sick and resurrects the dead, who allows our souls to grow and to transcend time and space, who turns the seasons and brings rain and dew and sun so that bounty follows. Please grant all of us wisdom and understanding, strength and mercy, knowledge and feeling. Show us the road to goodness and teach us to forgive and to be compassionate. Please bring health and renewal to those in need and bless all humanity and all of the creatures of life. We thank you for all you do, for all you give, for all you bring. And we ask that our prayers be accepted and that you continue to shine your face on all who seek you. Now, this week we read Chukat, the laws, but we may actually want to dub it Red Heifer Day. The mysterious red cow that's so often talked about. It was used like a spiritual detergent, a super powerful cleanser, where the sacrifice was outside the tent of meeting and the blood thrown towards it, cleansing absolutely everything in the way. Now, we're not told why we need to find such a rare animal, only about its sacrifice. We don't know anything else about it or its uncommonness. So much so, there may not have been more than 8 in history. And friends, people are still looking. In fact, the last one reported, but not verified by whichever rabbis verify it, was just last year in West Virginia. And everything I read and saw about it looked pretty good. And while it was not written down anywhere as being an official harbinger, most people believe it ushers in the time of the Third Temple, which is why people keep looking for it. So keep your eyes open for the red heifer. Keep moving, 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 though they're disapproving. Keep the doggies moving, rawhide. Don't try to understand them, just rope, throw, and brand them. Soon we'll be living high and wide. My heart's calculating, my true love will be waiting at the end of my ride. Now again, this is, one of those parshas where the title takes away from the real theme. Well, people are so obsessed with the heifer. It's about ego. It's about the crimes of Moses and Aaron and the deaths of Miriam and Aaron. And the setup for the permanent transition in leadership is unfolding right in front of us, but we miss so much of it. And we learn that part of the task of a wise leader is to prepare a successor. Numbers 21. And the children of Israel, all the congregation, came to the wilderness of Zin in the first month, and the people stayed in Kadesh, and Miriam died there and was buried there. Well, that's it. That's all it says. Goodbye, Miriam. Not another word about her is said anymore. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to have known you, but I was just a kid. Your candle burned out long before your legend ever did. Now this bookends here, my friends. A bookend of death and changing of the guards. Miriam's death stands at the very beginning of this parsha, and that of her brother Aaron, the high priest, at the end. And we're left with a theme of moving on, of death, of transference, prevalent here and going forward. What happens? Who takes over? Does anything actually change? The people are actually close to the promised land. We have traveled almost 40 years in time, but we didn't know it. And there was no water for the congregation. They assembled against Moses and against Aaron. Well, the people complain. They always complain. And God intervenes once again. Numbers 27. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, take the staff and assemble the congregation, you and Aaron, your brother, and you shall speak to the rock before their eyes, and it will give its water. So you shall bring water out of the rock for them and give them a drink, to the congregation and their cattle. The staff, not his staff. Now, why does Moses need to take the staff to speak to the rock? Well, it's because the staff has now transitioned into the symbol of authority, the crook and flail. He who holds the staff is king. It is Excalibur. Now, its purpose explicitly, as we were told before, was to be a sign to rebels. That's why Moses is supposed to carry it in his hand in the people's sight while dealing with their rebellion. As he holds it, his first words to the people are, in fact, listen, rebels. Numbers 20:10. And Moses and Aaron assembled the community opposite the rock, and he said to them, listen, rebels, shall we bring water out of this rock for you? Now notice he says he and Aaron will bring water. Oops. And Moses lifted his hand and struck the rock with his staff twice, and much water came out, and the congregation and their cattle drank. Now people think that Moses' punishment, that is not being allowed to enter the promised land, is because he struck the rock when he was told to talk to it. Now I love that. Moses was able to change a miracle. God gave instructions that were not followed, but he still let the water flow. So was Moses now super powerful? Or maybe the magic was in the staff. We saw one turn into serpents, and we saw this one, which may or may not have been the same one, bloom. So maybe it was powerful. And we're going to see another magic staff very shortly. Well, Moses' sin, my friends, for which he is condemned to die outside the borders of the promised land, is his presumptuous claim at the very moment he's supposed to sanctify God in the eyes of the people, that it is he and Aaron who will bring forth the water from the rock. And God said to Moses and Aaron, because you did not trust in me to make me holy before the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore you shall not bring this community to the land that I have given them. It's because he and Aaron let their ego rule. Shall we? Not God, but us. They did not make God holy to the people. They took the credit instead. Now, I don't know. That might be just a little bit too anthropomorphic. It is for me. I like to think God's better than that, but hey, we all can let our egos get out of control once in a while. They were instructed to sanctify God in front of the people, and they did not do it. Perhaps they should have praised and expressed their love for God. But God gets pissed off. Let Aaron be gathered to his people, because he shall not come to the land that I have given to the children of Israel, because you rebelled against my words at the waters of Meribah. Now, did you notice? God says, you rebelled, meaning Moses and Aaron. God tells them that they themselves did exactly what they were supposed to stop the people from doing. Well, Aaron dies. Eleazar's installed, but the people hold great mourning for 30 days. Would you know my name? If I saw you in heaven, will it be the same? If I saw you in heaven, I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. The changing of the guard, piece by piece. And the people continue to complain. It seems like they don't learn at all, this wilderness generation. So God sends another plague among them. Numbers 21:6, and the Lord let fiery snakes go among the people, and they bit the people, and a great many people from Israel died. So Moses goes and he prays on behalf of the people as he always does, and God tells him what to do. And on instructions, Moses makes a bronze serpent. So God said to Moses, make a fiery one and set it on a pole, and it will be that everyone who is bitten and sees it will live. So once again, we have a strange tale of magic here. A bronze snake on a staff. Now maybe it's the same staff. We don't know. And we're told that Moses' snake had a name. It was called Nehushtan. And that King Hezekiah ultimately destroyed it because the Israelites had been burning incense to it. And there's been some archaeological finds in the area where this supposedly took place of bronze snakes on staffs. Snake on a staff. Where have we seen that as a healing symbol? Yes, the world is sacred, and so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of all those you love, my friend. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive. It's for yourself. Learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. And take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy your journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light. A week of peace. A week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavanah, our cause, our effect. Everything is all linked, my friends. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what is good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to the person you've wronged, and ask for forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate. It is for you. The secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, the world just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance will bring. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land, your home. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always there in front of you. And remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love in all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. And may you nurture kindness and love everywhere. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of all real power lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, aware, present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time in life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you, because you're never alone. You're forever blessed and have the ability to bring those blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, renewal to everybody you come across. We are all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, friends, to love, to bless. So be generous with them. Bless others. Bless yourself. And love with the heart. We are all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief. And do not accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you have experienced, others have too. We share together, we learn together, we help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support we all have or could have. Special someone in our lives. So find them and tell them what they mean. And remember, express love to the special people in life and to your God. Give me love. Give me love. Give me peace on earth. Give me light. Give me life. Keep me free from birth. Give me hope. Help me cope with this heavy load. Trying to touch and reach you with heart and soul. Heart and soul, they do go hand in hand. Be happy, be healthy, be helpful, be kind, be loving, and print your will on the blank canvas of life, my friends, and keep celebrating being free to be you. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. I will see you all next week.